Greetings. This is Governor Herrera. I hope you and your family are well. As we continue to move forward throughout the year, our students will soon be all virtual learning from home. I want to reiterate my comments from last week's video. Students, please take responsibility to get yourselves up early. Get dressed, eat a good breakfast, and be ready for school. Being on time is an important life skill to learn now. Parents, please make sure your students have everything they need for school the night before, if possible. Just like everything new, it's going to take practice to get into a good routine. Have patience and don't be afraid to ask questions. Teachers, continue working with your students and their parents to create good learning environments. This is going to take some time to get used to and to master, but I know we have some creative teachers who can make virtual learning fun and keep students motivated. Again, I just ask you all, students, parents, and teachers, to please work together and have patience. Now, addressing the summer food program, it will be ending on Thursday, September 3rd. Beginning on Tuesday, September 8th, LDOE will be providing breakfast and lunch grab and go bags to LDOE registered students. Meals will be delivered between 8 a.m. through 9:30 a.m. Monday through Friday at designated bus stops. Parents, you should have received this notice via email from the schools, and the schedule can also be found on the LDOE and POL websites. If you have questions or concerns, please contact the schools directly. The Pueblo also has the Grant-Cebolla County Schools providing meals to all children ages 0 to 18 years old, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Meals will be available for pickup at all schools. Children do not need to be enrolled in Grant-Cebolla County Schools to receive a meal. This notice can be found on the Pueblo Laguna website and the Pueblo Laguna Facebook page. For questions or concerns, please contact the Grant-Cebolla County Schools Student Nutrition at 505-285-2777 or 505-285-2776. A meeting took place last week with Grant-Cebolla County Schools, and included in this meeting was the director of the Office of Laguna Learning and other program staff. I asked them to give me an update on how virtual learning was going currently. The schools are working out the glitches, and teachers and staff are becoming more accustomed to the new environment. One issue that has come up is the poor student attendance. I've asked those on the call to help monitor, respond, and address the challenges we are seeing. I will keep you updated on how we can work on this together. In the meantime, parents, please make sure your students are getting connected to their classes, and if you are having any challenges, please contact your teachers or the schools directly. Now that virtual learning has started in some of our schools, we've received inquiries about whether students can come together to participate in sports conditioning activities. As a reminder, the amended Executive Order Number 1 remains in place. Nothing has changed since that particular order was put in place. We've informed the local schools that this is not allowable under the current order. As I've mentioned before, I ask you, parents, students, and especially coaches, to be patient during this time with gatherings and get creative with your sports workouts on your own time. We have a lot of great athletes and coaches who can offer alternative ways you can adapt your training and conditioning for your sport. Next, I'd like to remind the community that the census continues to take place until September 30th, 2020. I continue to be in contact with the New Mexico Tribal Partnership for the 2020 census, and the latest New Mexico tribal response data is showing that the Pueblo of Laguna is responding at a 31.8% rate compared to the Pueblo of Jemez, who is responding at a higher rate at 58.8%, and is leading the New Mexico Pueblos in the census response. Overall, out of the 19 Pueblos, Laguna is ranked 17th in the census response. We need to do better and get our numbers up. Households may have already spoken to census individuals, the enumerators, out in the community and provided your information. Thank you for doing that. For those who haven't, it's a simple process and doesn't take long to complete. For a full household, it only takes up to 7 minutes. Please set aside some time to help the Pueblo in making sure you and your family members are counted. This will help the tribe to receive funding for infrastructure, community programs, for our elders and youth, and a whole lot more. Remember, our community, our count, Gawake, we count. Moving on, I'm sure you have seen in Albuquerque and around the state of New Mexico that more public events are beginning to take place, such as drive-in music concerts and shows. Please be aware that public events such as these continue to be discouraged, as well as out-of-state travel. The Pueblo has been doing a great job at keeping our community safe. By attending these types of events and out-of-state travel, you risk the potential for bringing the virus into our community. Across the nation, at many universities, we see on the news media of outbreaks happening on college campuses and at different public events. For example, Arizona State University in our neighboring state is currently dealing with 480 positive COVID-19 cases. This is due to individuals not practicing social distancing and or wearing a face mask. We are in this together, and it's up to us to keep our community safe by adhering to the COVID-19 safe practices we've established here on the Pueblo. Please be mindful of your actions and don't let your guard down. As of today, the Pueblo stands at 43 total positive cases, and gratefully 42 recovered, 1 death, and 0 active cases within the Pueblo boundaries. I want to commend the community on the hard work and effort you are putting forth to adhere to COVID-19 safe practices. The hard work and sacrifice will pay off in the long run. But remember, we are still in the midst of this pandemic and cannot afford to let our guard down now. As we near the Labor Day holiday weekend, I know many of you will want to gather for family barbecues or travel somewhere for the long weekend. I encourage all of you to please remember that through our collective efforts, we've been able to get to 0 positive cases here in our Laguna community. It was through your hard work, sacrifices, adhering to the amended Executive Order number 1, and continuing to follow the Laguna COVID safe practices that got us to this point. I'm grateful to all of you for what you are doing to protect and safeguard our families and community from this virus. With the holiday upon us, we cannot let our guard down. In closing, I would like to again thank the community in the efforts to keep our families and communities safe. Let us continue to encourage and follow all the COVID-19 safety precautions. Please do not gather in groups, socialize at a distance, wash your hands, wear a face mask if you must go out in public, don't touch your face with unwashed hands, and stay at home to the greatest extent possible, keeping in mind that every time you leave your home, it's a risk. I wish you all well and be safe. Thank you for this opportunity.